appointments committee should cease to exist, they were not going to participate in an illegality. And so they walked out. I was in this chamber when you communicated to this House, and you did not say that the appointment committee should cease to exist, and therefore you were calling for an urgent meeting to reconstitute the appointments committee. They persisted in their understanding of what you were purported to have done, and they left the sitting of the appointments committee. The committee continued working, and the committee considered all nominees. And at the end of the consideration of all nominees, the committee decided to put the question on each and every one of the nominees before the cameras. Normally we do it in camera, but on this occasion, in order to be very transparent and accountable, the chairman of the committee decided to put the question before the journalists. And the journalists captured the entire exercise. And no nominee had his or her approval subjected to the provision of any document. So if after you have left the committee, and the committee has already taken a decision to approve all of them by consensus, you will come and say that you don't agree and they must submit some documents, I will not accept that. So you can come to the chamber and you can say whatever you want to say, but I am standing my grounds, and every single one of those nominees will be approved by consensus in this chamber. I communicated that to my brother on the other side. So we agreed that he should come and say whatever he will say, and I will have my say. So, Mr. Speaker, we are going to take the report, Mr. Speaker, subject to you granting us leave to vary the order of business, and he can debate the report, but the reports say that the committee approved them by consensus. So no two nominees are going to be taken out of the report. Mr. Speaker, that is what I can say about the reports.
Honorable members, I have been given a copy of the report. The recommendation on two of them says majority decision on two. The others is consensus. That's the report they gave me. In the case of two of them, the names he mentioned, the report says the committee recommends to the House by majority decision the approval of the nomination, and then the name follows. And that is in connection with Honorable Samuel Nate George and Honorable Samuel Ablakwa Okujato. So those are majority decisions, but the others are consensus. That's what we have. I have a wrong report.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The report under reference is the 10th report. And the 10th report is on Honorable Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpo, Honorable Ibrahim Muntala Mohammed, Honorable Samuel Nate George, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, and Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikwe. So, right, Honorable Speaker, in respect of the 10th report, which we have to lay, it has nothing to do with Honorable Okujato Ablakwa. And right, Honorable Speaker, the minority leader said we should act in good faith. Right, Honorable Speaker, in these circumstances, whatever document that we demanded from Okujeto, from Sam George, some documents has been brought to us. And indeed, the minority leader has a copy of the document as well as the report. Right, Honorable Speaker, the confusion is that the 11th report will be covering Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. In relation to Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, some documents were outstanding that the committee would have to be furnished. So, minority leader is confusing the 11th report with the 10th report. So, regarding the 10th report, he has a copy of the report and he has a copy of the documents brought by Honorable Sam George. So, it's completely different from the 11th report. So, the issues relating to the 10th report will not be the same as issues relating to the 11th report. So, to say that we need to act in good faith, Mr. Speaker, in relation to the 10th report, it is not fair to the chairman of the committee. Right, Honorable Speaker. 10th report is what we are supposed to lay. And if you look at the other paper said presentation of the 10th report, not the 11th report.
Chair, I have been given a copy of the 10th report. January 2025, APP/9/1/1/010. Now, read page 22. You see the recommendation on Honorable Abdul Rashid H. Pelpo. Read page 42. You see the recommendation on Honorable Samuel Nate George. Have you seen that? What does it say?
Speaker, I am not speaking with respect of the decision of the committee, the recommendation of the committee. I'm speaking with reference to the fact that minority leader is saying acting in good faith. He has not seen a copy of the report.
I've gone past that.
Then I am saying that he is confusing the 10th and the 11th report.
Chair,
yes.
Chair, I understand that point.
Very well, very well.
I was addressing the issue that the majority leader raised.
Yes.
Because the majority leader's understanding is that they are all by consensus.
Yes. So,
and I'm saying, Chairman,
yes.
I'm saying that the report I have, that one is not by consensus. It's majority decision. That's what is in the report. Now, my attention was being drawn to another copy of the 10th report. And so when he brought it, we had to compare notes. And we saw that even what he brought, at the same page 42, the recommendation is majority decision. Now, at the last page, which is page 79, you have the committee therefore recommends to the House by consensus the adoption of its report and the approval of the nominations of, and the number there is only 5. But in that, you have number 3, where you put the Honorable Samuel Nate George as Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations. But in the body of the report, it says majority decision. That is what I'm drawing your attention to. And both are signed by the clerk to the committee and you, the first deputy speaker and chairman of the committee. Yes, please.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The decision of the committee, per the report that I am holding, the minority has reached out to us that Honorable Sam Nate George would be a majority decision. The rest of the nominees are by consensus.
Exactly what I said.
That is so, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Yes.
But
So,
at the last page,
yes.
at the last page,
Yes.
when you talked about the consensus,
Yes.
you included the name of Honorable Samuel George Nati. Which meant that one too is by consensus.
Yes. Right,
I don't know, honorable members, are you following? You have copies of the report. That is the conflict in the report. Yes, please.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I would be able to do that correction in presenting the report of the committee.
Honorable members, I will allow the chair of the committee to present the report and do the writing as we always do by correcting the contradiction.
That is so.
Yes. Let me listen to a minority leader, then I'll come to you, majority leader. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, limiting ourselves to even the 10th report. This is the very problem that I've been raising from day one. When the clerks reached out to me this morning, and we had a meeting this morning on the draft, the understanding reached was that they will engage our respected colleague, Sam George, to bring the rest of the document to enable us finalize the report. That is the 10th report. Mr. Speaker, here is a situation that without reaching out to me again, we have our clerk co-signing the report with the chair. Mr. Speaker, let the record reflect that per the practice of this House, leaders of committees would always have to sign off before a committee report is finalized and brought to this chamber. It is only when the one side has given a firm indication of its intent that the issue of a minority report would arise. Mr. Speaker, this is not the case, and this is where I would want to reserve my comment on the actions of our secretariat in private. I wouldn't speak about the actions of the secretariat anymore in public. But Mr. Speaker, I am happy that the clerk to Parliament is in this chamber and is hearing us. It is a bit a challenge what is happening. Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that until all the information that the nominee himself has committed to providing are provided, until all those documents are provided, we cannot finalize a report. I have therefore no hesitation at all in saying that for Honorable Abdul Rashid Hassan Purple, Honorable Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, and Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikwe, we can take them because this is by consensus. We shouldn't allow one person's issue to stand in the way of other nominees we don't have a problem with. And in fact, let me publicly state this. If our respected colleague brings the outstanding documents and these documents are satisfactory, we have no hesitation changing our position. We've done that in the case of Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibua. we took a decision to take him through a vote. The issue that we had with him, we resolved it. The majority leader, my good self, and the chair, we resolved it. And upon resolution, we amended the record right here on the floor of the House. Nobody should create the impression that someone is in to frustrate somebody's political appointment. No. But, Mr. Speaker, the very things that our colleagues demanded when they were in opposition are the very things that we are demanding from them. So they should take it easy and engage us the more rather than the confrontation. The confrontation will not work. Confrontation will not work. We have a 4-year journey. This is just the 3rd week. So they should take it easy with us. It's not the intimidation and the attack, the social media that will get me, Kwamena, to be cowed. It will not work. I have seen all this before. So, but I want to do the work in a manner that you as colleagues will know that I respect you. I will not disrespect any nominee. After all, you are going to be our minister. But please, let the right thing be done in the interest of the nation. Mr. Speaker, that is all I demand.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader. Please, Honorable Members, your standing orders are clear as to the preparation of report of committees. Is Standing Order 283. 283. And 2831 says, members of a committee, including the chairperson, may present reports for consideration of the committee, and the report shall be recorded in the minutes of proceedings of the committee. 2, the chairperson shall propose for consideration the reports in the order of receipt until one of the reports is accepted as a basis for discussion, beginning with the report of the chairperson. 3, the question to be proposed by the chairperson on any report shall be, and I quote, that the report brought up by honorable member for so and so be read a second time, paragraph by paragraph, unquote. 4, when the question has been agreed to, a question shall not be proposed on any other report, but portions of other reports may be offered as amendments to the report under consideration where they are relevant to the agreed report. And 5, on the conclusion of the consideration of the report, the chairperson shall put the question, and quote, that this report be the report from the committee to the House, unquote. This is the procedure you go through. At all committees, this is the procedure you go through. So at the end of the day, the report is the report of the committee. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, that order governs the process of generating reports. Mr. Speaker, my colleague on the other side knows that we have never really complied with that mechanism. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, you know, it is new. It is new, and we are yet to begin to warm up to that process. But Mr. Speaker, I have heard my colleague on the other side, and I just note that this report has some inconsistency, because you have the main body of the report on one of the nominees saying that it is by majority decision, and then in the concluding portion of the report indicating that it is by consensus. So there's a problem with the report. So, Mr. Speaker, I will ask for a short suspension of sitting for me to engage with my colleague on the other side so that we will correct the reports. We will correct the reports and build consensus, and come back to this House, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, there is an application before the House for us to take a suspension. For how long? 10 minutes? 1 hour?
1 hour, Mr. Speaker, 1 hour.
1 hour. You need a whole hour to discuss this simple honorable members.
1 hour is okay, Mr. Speaker.
I proceed to suspend sitting. Minority Leader. Yes, you say your position is.
Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business has made an application. Who am I to oppose him? I'm not opposed to his application. So, Mr. Speaker, grant the application as prayed. You grant it as prayed.
Honorable members, the sitting of the House is suspended for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
And so, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin has just suspended sitting for 30 minutes. This comes after there were some misunderstanding over the 10th report from the appointment committee. The issue really has been the fact that from the minority leader, Alexander Fenyomaking, he did not receive the report before it was brought to the House, something the chairman of the committee has denied. But fast forward, there were some members or ministers designate who were vetted, whose approval were to be done by consensus and others by a majority decision. Sam George, for instance, his approval was to be done through a majority decision. And so that has been the situation. But even prior to that, in earlier conversations on the floor, the Speaker of Parliament granted a request from the minority and even the majority as well. It was indeed a bipartisan appeal that he reinstate 4 members of Parliament who were suspended last week on Friday over their involvement in the chaos that took place at the vetting. And so that was what happened earlier, that those 4 MPs, 3 from the minority side, 1 from the majority side, were reinstated. And so it takes immediate effect that from today they can take part in sittings in the chamber. But the Speaker also went ahead to condemn the attacks on the clerk to the committee. He says the clerk to the committee is a public servant who should not be drawn into the controversy surrounding the failure of members on the committee to reach consensus or to resolve their differences. And so that was the communication from the Speaker concerning the attack that have been mounted against the person of the clerk to the appointment committee. And so right now in your shot, you see MPs, members of Parliament from both sides engaging in conversations, chit-chatting. Largely you see members of the minority clad in black attires, but also you know that Sam George, who is part of the 5 MPs to be approved or otherwise, is also on the floor. Visibly, I mean, when you see him in that shot, his gestures indicate his disapproval of how this is shaping or coming or turning up to be what some of them have seen to be a delay of their approval or otherwise. And so that is the concern, really. So after this 30-minute suspension, when they return, it is expected that there would be some form of consensus or a pathway to dealing with this issue. So initially, what the chairman of the appointment committee said was that he suspects or thinks probably the minority leader, Alexander Fenyomakin, in a way mistook the 10th report from the committee for the 11th. But when you check the order paper, in there, it is stated clearly that the MPs or the committee chairperson was to lay the report, the 10th report, and not the 11th. And so he had raised an issue to the effect that the minority leaders should not mix the two. But you see Sam Nate George, the Minister of Communications designate, engaging some of his colleagues in the chamber in what appears to be his disapproval or dissatisfaction with what is ongoing. Mind you, this 10th report was to be taken last week, and that is the context to it. If I should bring that context to you, the 10th report of the appointment committee was to be taken last week, but that did not take place, and so it was the 9th report which was taken. Now, if the House proceeds after this break to approve these 5 nominees or ministers designate, it just would mean that we would gradually be inching closer to the approval of all the 42 ministers designate who have been named. Ghanaians and the public are wait to see who or which ministries get to have deputies and which ones would not have. And even the names that would be mentioned by way of those who would be deputies to or in the respective committees. And so that is the case really. And that is the situation. So right now the House has adjourned, or the Speaker of the House has adjourned sitting for almost for 30 minutes. Earlier, the leaders had requested a 1-hour break, but in the Speaker's view, 1 hour is almost too much for a consideration of such a subject matter, which is just aimed to resolve some discrepancies in information on the approval of the ministers, whether it is to be by consensus or by majority decision, and which of the nominees are even to be contained or are to be mentioned or are to be approved in the 10th report. And so that is it. But just like I told you earlier, we had that major news that broke from here that the Speaker, having listened to the pleas from both sides of the House, agreed to rescind his earlier decision to suspend the 4 MPs. And the 4 MPs include both chief whips from both sides, in the presence of Roxanne Nelson Dafia-Mekpo and Frank Anodompre, and also other 2 members from the minority side, in the presence of Jerry Ahmed Shaib and Al-Hassan Tampuli. And so that has been the situation. And so that has been the situation from Parliament. That has been the
Happy New Year from all of us at 3FM 92.7. We're grateful for your support over the years and can't wait to achieve even more together in 2025. To kick off the year, we're bringing you 3FM Fit Start, a transformative 60-day program designed to get your team fit, energized, and motivated for success. Health is wealth, and we know that healthy, motivated staff are the heartbeat of any successful business. That's why 3FM Fit Start offers life-changing holistic coaching, fun and engaging challenges, personalized diet plans to boost energy and productivity. And here's more. If you register 10 or more of your staff, you will enjoy an exclusive interview on 3FM 92.7 to spotlight the company's commitment to employee wellness. Let's make this year extraordinary for your people and your business.
3FM Fit Start is sponsored by Duffy's Health and Beauty, Bill's Microfinance, the UGEL Premier Water, and supported by Blue Skies and the Ghana Medical Association.
Start strong with 3FM Fit Start. Healthier teams, stronger businesses.
This is the show that brings finality to all the critical issues. It is the stage where all the facts are checked, issues thoroughly interrogated, opinions shaped, and debates settled. But over here, we do more than just talk. We resolve problems. We hold those in power accountable. We address all the key happenings in society, from politics to health to education to everything you deem important. And we will center the voice of the ordinary Ghanaian. This is the show that sets the agenda.
At
Agenda now shows on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. on TV3.
TV3. First News.
If you're looking to listen to thought-provoking conversations, to avoid any further brouhaha, all this English to just say, I will do nothing. I will ghost him. So like what you see.
Welcome to Biz Brief here on TV3. I am Michael Obodu. Coming up, professional services firm Deloitte Ghana warns of high inflation, debt currency weakness, and restrictive monetary policy environment as big hurdles for growth in Ghana and Nigeria. We'll bring you details of these and more shortly. Please stay with us. So let's turn our attention now to the currency market and let you know how top currencies are performing on the market today.
you.